Yo, people, welcome back to the channel. Post match Carnage. I thought I'd run the old intro, the original intro for. I ain't heard it myself for a little while. Do you know what I mean? It just makes me feel like, oh, Legion of Doom. If you know, you know. You know what I mean? If people know Legion of Doom, you know.
Go
Pure
tag team.
classic WWF. Come on. But yeah, that's got like a little Legion of Doom kind of anthem. So I thought I'd run that. People, welcome. Post match Carnage. Bournemouth 1, Liverpool 2. Liverpool progressed to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. They tried to create Kieran Storm in that second half, Bournemouth. By the south coast, is it? Is it the south
Correct.
coast? Yeah.
Yes.
Don't ever doubt my geography. You understand? Don't ever. They tried to whip up a storm in that second half. But we have our own. We have our own storm. We have our own El Nino Part 2. We will discuss. We will discuss. You guys know what I'm on about. But welcome, people. You already know the house rules. Come on, as you come in, smash up the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Road to 35K. I want to get there before end of the year. Yeah, definitely. A few hundred short, man. I think. Come on, let's get over the line to 35K. Huge welcome. Guys, you're privileged. You got Big K from midweek game as well, on top of Red Fellas on a Sunday. Bro, this is when you know life different. Big K, what you saying?
Bro, there's a hurricane coming through, and nothing more so than being up in here talking about a win. You know how it is. I only show up when we win. So
I know,
you,
you're soft like
you
that.
might
That's
start,
what you need
so
to do.
you're gonna start seeing me a lot more often this season, the way we've been carrying on at the
The way
moment.
we're playing.
But no, happy to be here. I was actually up in Manchester for work today, and I sprinkled a bit of, you know what I mean, a bit of bad juju on the way out, and it seems to have done wonders. So shout out Newcastle.
100%. Hacker, who's non-Liverpool fan, says, I see smiles. What you want to see, bro? Come on, you're on a Liverpool channel. Liverpool fans, what do you want to see? Yeah, look, we were just discussing that. That club is finished. That club not to even be named. Actually, who cares if we name them or not? They're finished. Finito, kaput, ciao. They're like dead. But anyway, we got Ish in the building as well. Ish was on with me yesterday for the Cop and Carnage collaboration that we do. Very welcome as again, Ish. How you doing?
Bro, I'm good, man. I'm good. Like I said yesterday, when Liverpool win, the sun is shining, the birds are singing. So yeah, even there's a storm outside, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I mean there was a storm outside and there was a storm brewing in that first half. We secured our passage. Keith, I'm gonna come to you first. I was never in danger again. I was calm before the storm. Pardon the pun. There's gonna be puns flying about. And I mean, you either like it or you lump it. I don't give a shit. But I was calm before the storm. I was the lineup I liked. I thought it was stronger than I thought. Was you a little bit surprised with the lineup? A mixed bag. Pretty much a brand new back four. But pretty much a new attack, and Mohamed Salah in a different formation as well. I'm going to bring you up in a very second. But was you a bit surprised with the lineup?
So I'm just trying to look at it now, yeah. But when I first saw that lineup, I was like, rah, what goal scoring record does Mo Salah need to go after this season?
Yeah.
Because what was his name doing there? My jaw dropped. Mo Salah in the League Cup before the final. I was surprised. But the other thing that's pretty wild to me at the moment is like we've debated to death for the last few years of squad depth. But now it feels like we've got two teams. Like you played a lot of times, we played these League Cup games. It was kind of like, oh, okay, there's going to be like 8-9 changes, and it's going to be looked a bit disjointed, and there's going to be quite a few young players coming in, or players that are in the fringes that don't quite get a game. But at the moment, we seem to be rotating for League Cup and Europa League games, with Premier League games, with teams. Like every time I see the team sheet, it looks like, okay, there's a lot of players in here who could really play and make a case. There's more players in our team that are playing League Cup and Europa League games that are playing to make a stake for the first team than ever before, in my opinion. And that's what I'm seeing when I'm seeing these 11s come out. I'm seeing the likes of Jones, Endo, Gakpo, Harvey Elliott in particular, who definitely someone I want to talk about, particularly that first half. They're playing, and Joe Gomez as well. I know you mentioned just when we were off air. These guys seem to be playing for a spot on Sunday more than I've ever seen before. They don't seem content with being second fiddle. So when I saw this team sheet and I'm seeing these team sheets now, I'm actually more excited to see the best side of this team. And actually, it's giving Klopp so many different options that if we lose one or two of the guys, maybe through injury, then I'm feeling more and more confident every day that the likes of Endo and the likes of Gravenberch and Elliott can come in when they may be needed more than how it used to be, probably even in the good times. In the good times, you just felt like the second fiddle was second fiddle. And that was it. They were destined to come off the bench, or they were destined to play League Cup. This 11, you could argue that if the time is right, they could be starting Premier League games.
Tarek sends in a super chat of the night. Thank you very much, Tarek, for the super chat. He says, big up, gents. This team is cashing every single prize this year. Kalma, Tarek. I'm with you. We're on that hype. We're happy. We're flying. We were very machine-like, but it's way too early to talk like that, my brother. You know what I mean? Things can turn around very, very quickly. But Ish, you see that lineup as well. We discussed it. We tried to predict it. No one really predicted this kind of lineup. No one saw Szoboszlai starting. Or did we? No one saw Szoboszlai starting.
Nah.
The others, yeah, pretty much we kind of, I was debating whether it's going to be Trent or Gomez. I think what we do know is he always plays one of the youngsters. So it's either the youngster at left back or it's Kwanzaa. He doesn't like throwing in two youngsters in the back four. I made a point of that yesterday. And so happened again. Kwanzaa gets a start alongside the veteran, I think it's fair to say, Matip. Gomez deputizes right back. We're gonna tuck into the individual performances. But overall, you see that lineup. Did you think balance? Because the first question I asked was, who's going to play where? Like, I know it says Elliott on the right wing in that caption, but the first half was different, right?
Yeah, first off, I saw Salah play the 9, Szoboszlai on the right. I saw Salah on the right, Szoboszlai false 9, Gakpo false 9, Szoboszlai on the left. I did like the fluidity in the first half, especially.
Notice people. Ish mentioned Szoboszlai in 4 different positions. That's exactly what I put in our WhatsApp group, didn't I, Keith? He was like, he's always everywhere, but he was everywhere.
It was good. I think it gave Elliott a lot of options as well. He was looking up and he was seeing players running from different directions. I think we'll get onto him in a second, but he had a very good, especially first half. But going back to what we were saying before about kind of the quality and the strength and depth, and kind of the fact that these players, if they play well, they're going to make a stake for playing on Sunday. I think we got to give Klopp a bit of credit here as well, because I was number one thing I used to get onto Klopp for was the rotation, man. The rotation was poor. Whether it's in game, you're not changing stuff, you're leaving it till too late, bringing Origi on in the 89th minute and saying, go and do something crazy, or you're just not playing guys at all. Origi could score 4 goals in the cup, and he knows Firmino's starting on Sunday, no matter what happens. Now he's being a bit more flexible, even in games. If it's not working, cool, half time, 2 subs on. I think that's kind of raised the level a little bit, or it's closed the gap at least between the starters and the benchmen, which I think has been good for us. We're seeing guys coming in now, and there's still a couple I'm still a bit like, you're not quite up to levels yet. But on the whole, I like what I'm seeing from these 2 teams. I'm seeing like a kind of a sustained kind of level now, which is good. And I think, listen, the lineup, I wasn't too worried about it. I would like to see Salah get a rest, but like we said, he must be on some sort of hunt for that all-time record or something this season. I don't know.
Yeah, either that or the goal bonus. You know what I mean? That we
it's
know.
Paying.
Yeah, man, it's true. But I think the Wednesday to Sunday helped with the selection. I think that's why he thought there's enough days for like Mr. Terminator himself, Szoboszlai and Salah for that matter, to recover. The rest of the picks, Endo gets a start. I thought he was very effective, efficient. He's impressing me more and more. He's getting accustomed to the role. But the game was held to skelter, man. Okay, it was not either team really controlling or dominating. I don't think the conditions were conducive to one team having control or much football being played. It was quite I don't know. How did you see that opening 15, 20 minutes?
I thought it was chaotic.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is you got to remember, for those maybe who don't know the geography of the UK, like Bournemouth is down in the south coast. There's one of the biggest storms since 1986 coming over as of this evening.
Oh shit.
Bournemouth have literally their stadium. There is no cover. That stadium is a championship stadium, not even a championship stadium these days, probably League Two at best. So, I mean, the best like example you can give is that at times Mo Salah looked like he'd touched an electrical wire because his hair.
Yeah. Or
No,
you never see his hair out of shape like that. My brother's shape, like my hair, like I know when it like you know what I mean. I know all about hair, right?
You do.
So yeah, so do you know what I mean? Like, but his hair is always like in position. You're right. It looks scrambled. It looked fuzzy.
You reckon that's why Virgil didn't start tonight? The ponytail would have been
Yeah,
looking
he thought,
crazy, bro.
yeah,
He
man.
said, boss, boss, my
Hey, let
hamstrings
me
a
rest.
bit tight. Hamstrings a bit tight in training.
Yeah,
Like, let me
yeah.
get a night off.
I can't run around going like this all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I can't be
man.
going to tackles looking
You're
after my hair.
looking crazy.
That hair gel will burn up his eyes, you know. Jesus Christ. He puts bear wax in that head as well. But that, yeah, so it looks all over the place. The other thing I thought was quite interesting was that Bournemouth sat really deep in that first 20 minutes, a lot deeper than they did against Liverpool in the fixture in the Premier League last season, where actually they really came at us, I thought, from minute one. So it was really congested. And Liverpool were it wasn't a game for tiki taka, passing it around on the floor, pass and move and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't built for that. So you got a packed team with arguably you would say a bit of an unorthodox midfield. I mean, when you think of Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott and then Szoboszlai as well as Cody Gakpo, all quite similar players, like the ball into feet, like to look for runners in behind, and you know. If you only got Mo Salah really kind of doing those type of runs, it can become quite congested. So I thought the way that Bournemouth set themselves up played a big role in that as well. And I thought the personnel that we had on the pitch made it. It just felt very, very like everything was just botched in that middle. And you know, it was going to take something a bit like a set piece or something like that to really get this game going. But yeah, fair play to them for sticking at it, to be honest, because I thought in possession wise, I thought we did really, really well. I thought, yeah, Harvey Elliott for me was he's so confident. You know, sometimes crazy to think that this kid is 20 years old, and the way he's playing football at this moment in time, like, is just like years ahead. Like, if he's doing this now, what is he going to do in the next few years? Is frightening to me. Like, he's some certain attributes he's getting, like the way he gets that techers on that no look pass almost, you know, as he sees the runners, you know, the whip on the ball he gets, the position he takes up, he's a lot more confident. I felt when he first came through, it was very much like, all right, I'm on the wide, give the ball to Salah, or give the ball, let me look for that cutback. But now he looks for his own plays, you know what I mean? He looks for his own opportunities to create things. And I thought he was quite the bright spark in that first 20 minutes, to be honest. He really stood out yet again. And I'm really happy because one of my predictions at the start of the season was that Harvey Elliott was really going to come alive in the League Cup and the Europa League and really take the ball by the horns. And I feel like so far it's so good.
Big up M6 Leo says Salam is green from Australia. So Australia are waking up now? Probably. Yeah. And let us know, M6 Leo, what the time it is. He's also become channel member. Big up, respect to M6 Leo. Ish. Keith touched upon Harvey Elliott, and yeah, look, he's not been everyone's. Okay, so some people have agendas that can't be changed and moved regardless of what a player does. We don't care for those people. We care about the people with the opinions that can be wrong and then can be proved right. And then you can appreciate someone's growth on and off the pitch. And I've been in the past with Harvey Elliott. I see the talent. I just didn't know where he fits into the team. I still don't see him as a starter per se, but I'm fully convinced that he's a valuable member of a squad, of a Liverpool squad. And that's based on merit. That's not based on, oh, he's young, come through the academy. You know what I mean? Not through the academy, but, bought him young. And, I firmly are in the camp of keep him as a very, very valuable squad player. Because today, most people, I don't know about you guys, but I thought he might start on the right, Salah through the middle, Gakpo on the left, and keep the usual midfield with Endo instead of McAllister. So Jones and Szoboszlai. To my surprise, I don't know you guys, we see Elliott given that midfield role and Szoboszlai on the right. Elliott, for me, was the standout player on the pitch in terms of possession on a wet, slick, windy pitch. The guy had a beautiful, a touch was necessity. Otherwise, you're going to get caught out today. You're going to look like a Sunday League player if your touch ain't spot on. And his touch was spot on.
It was, man. It was. And I just think, going back to what you're saying at the start, I completely agree with the whole Elliott thing. Like, for me, I never really saw him as like the next big thing at Liverpool. Like I might do with like a Trent when he was kind of coming through. But I do think you need players like Elliott in the squad, and not even to do like sentiment, but even the fact that he's a fan. You know that he's gonna probably happily be a squad player at Liverpool for the rest of his career. Like he's gonna be here, but he's gonna be giving it his all. And listen, yeah, Man United had the likes of your Darren Fletchers and your John O'Shea. So you need those lieutenants who are just kind of come in, do a job, give you 7, 8 out of 10s, but they know they're not going to be the main guy, the main star. That's cool. Every squads need that. You can't have a squad of 23 players unless you're Man City or players who are all of quality to start for most teams in the league. Like it's just not realistic. I think Elliott's been good this season. He's been good in all his cameos, good again tonight. And that's just kind of what you want from him. I think sometimes as a fan base, we need to kind of go up expectations a little bit. Yeah, like people expect him to come in and be like Ballon d'Or contender or like Jude Bellingham level just because they're young and English. Like it doesn't work like that. You're not going to have that in your squad. So I just think for what his ability is at this moment in time, he's doing well, man. He's doing well. It's just another good step for him. Like I feel like this is kind of a good level for him this season to kind of progress. Hopefully, he can kick on and go to the next level as well. But yeah, I'm a fan of Elliott's, man. I'm a fan of his.
100%. And not only, as I said, I think you made a very good point about him being a fan, because you can see the effort and his desire to, whilst being the smallest and diminutive player on the pitch, he fights, he battles. He's not afraid to go into challenges. He hasn't got he hasn't been blessed with the physical attributes, but he's been blessed with a heart. I'm telling you, and that goes a long way. And also a humility to learn. You see how he's always listening to the older players, and especially Mohamed Salah. And Big K, there's no better player as a professional to learn from than the great Mohamed Salah himself. And you can see a bond they've got. I know a lot of people will want to speak about the Trent and this season, Trent and Dominic bond, the old Robertson and Mane bond, the Gini and Fabinho. This Elliott and Salah have got quite a bit of an understanding. And all our play in that first half was Salah, Elliott, Dominic. Salah, Elliott, Dominic. And a surprise name we're going to add on to the mix. But, Elliott impressed you as well, right?
Yeah, I think there is an interesting bond there, because I remember when Salah scored against Brighton and, all Elliott really did was kind of dummy it. But Salah was like straight pointing at him, like so gassed, like, yes, my young child, for me. Yes, the middle, come to the dark side vibes. You know what I mean? Like he was gassed for him, and he's always, he is one of those players who I think needs, like, you could hear Klopp, because it's funny, like today you could just hear Klopp all the time on that touchline, because it's such a, I don't know what was it with the microphone today, Harvey. So you can clearly see, he's still very much moldable, coachable, and he's got a good ear for it. My question is kind of what is his best position going to be long term? Because I think for England, he gets a really free role And he actually looks really quite. I mean, obviously he's only been under 21s at the moment, but I mean, he really does get to kind of do what he wants, and he scores some bangers and looks really good in this kind of almost like a free central attacking midfield
Number
role.
10. Number 10.
Now you're not going to get that with Liverpool necessarily. So
do you
be
guys,
interesting. Go
sorry to cut you. Do you guys think he'll ever touch the senior team for England? Because the depth that England midfield has got, I really can't see him getting in.
I agree with you, but I don't care. Like,
but I'm saying that's the level you want to. If like you're seen as like a top player, you should be getting into your national team. Like even Trent, he doesn't get treated that great at England, but if there's a tournament tomorrow, you know he's getting picked.
Yeah, but that's the point though. That's the point. Like if Trent isn't being appreciated by England, and we know what Trent is, we don't give a shit. We know what we've got.
It's true.
And as I said, I don't think Elliot. You know, people might get this all going viral and whatever. If it happens, I'm here. I'm here. I don't see Elliot securing do you remember yesterday we were talking about first names on the team sheet? He'll never be that. But like today, when McAllister needs a rest, when Gravenberch seems to have played 3-4 games in a row, needs a little rest, Harvey Elliott comes in and he doesn't look out of place, folk. I love his maturity, guys. He's getting on the ball. He's demanding the ball. He's not shy now. And I really enjoyed his first 45 minutes, man. And I've been a critic of his. And I think I've been harsh because, as you said, he's 20 only.
20 years old.
I mean,
he was 19 last season. Like he was scoring.
We're talking about playing for one of the best coaches in world football who trusts him and believes him and plays him in positions that we think, he might get bullied. Like I thought, he might get bullied in their cold, wet, windy Bournemouth. They've got some physical players. He had the most touches in that first half. He dictated the pace of the game. But I wanted to get on to Ish. I wanted to get on to we spoke about most of the play seemed to coming on the right. Everything was on our right. And bro, that was goal, Gomez. That wasn't Joe Gomez out there, bro. Bro, that brother, he looked like revitalized. He looks like he's been taking the summer off, coming back focused. Listen, let's not beat around the bush. He had a disastrous last season. That could have seen the end of his Liverpool career, right?
Yeah,
but he's come back. It was disastrous, bro. Let's not beat around the bush.
It was bad.
He was on the brink of, I'd say, majority of the fan base saying, yeah, look, top guy and all of that, but he's got to go. Again, maybe not a certified starter, but he's proving to be a very, very able deputy, not only at centre-back. In fact, guys, this is the question I want to talk about today. Are we saying more of a right-back understudy, 30?
It's looking like it, because even the 3-4 game period when Trent was out recently, I didn't really miss Trent, and that's no kind of indictment on him. That's more just Joe Gomez in those 3-4 games was impeccable, and he was playing the inverted role, probably closer to a John Stones than a Trent in terms of he was kind of getting in the mix and popping it a bit more. Trent is kind of trying to dictate play and look for those long range and passes, whereas Gomez was in there kind of popping it with McAllister and that. So I was those 3-4 games, I was thinking he might have the right back kind of understudy position locked down, but then you see him in centre back certain games as well. He looks good as well. So it's just like I'm happy for him because I was, like you said, man, last season, the Napoli, Real Madrid, and towards other Brighton performances, those are arguably our 3 lowest points of the whole season, and he was the worst player in all of those games. So it was looking bleak, man. It's looking bleak. But with Gomez, it's just fitness. It's just fitness. If this guy can stay consistently fit, I don't worry about the quality. If he can go like a 2-3 season period now with no serious injuries, he'll be back kind of at the top of his game again. I don't doubt
really?
that.
You don't have any doubt?
All the attributes. Because with him, it's just always plays well, gets injured, struggles to get back into the team, gets an odd game, looks crap, and then you're like, nah, I don't want to see you again. It's kind of the same cycle with him. But when he gets look at the 1920 season. We went on that long run of maybe was it 9-10 clean sheets in a row.
Immaculate.
He was
Immaculate.
insane. He was better than Van Dijk in that period. He was better than Van Dijk, and Van Dijk was at the top of his game as well. So listen, with Gomez, if this guy can stay fit now for the rest of his career, pretty much, you've got a top centre back.
He's
And
26.
right back.
He's 26 years old. That's mad.
It's crazy, man.
Born in 1997, you know, like this guy, you say about like the rest of his season, he's got time. He does a couple years unfit and healthy. That takes him to 28, 29. Arguably, as a centre back, those are your prime years.
Look at Van Dijk. Look at Van Dijk. Van Dijk at 26 was rolling around Celtic, Southampton. He only really came into it a bit later on. So and he's had the education as well.
Do you know what it is, guys? If there was ever a player that I wanted to do well and you know, revenge tour, so to speak, you know, is Joe Gomez, man. I've got so much time for him. Like, I don't know him personally, but I know people that know him personally. And they all speak so highly of him. Like, they're almost like broken-ish. We were doing shows with people. We were broken talking about him like this. Like, we didn't want to talk about him like this because the guy is such a top quality guy. You never hear him moaning. He's been out injured, gone through hell. Like, not one serious injuries. We're talking 3, 2 at least.
Yeah, 3. I think. Two knee and then one like
2 knees and an ankle or something in it, or something else as well. Like 2 nasty,
leg fracture. Again, Burnley away.
So we're talking injuries that can finish a man's career. But his discipline, his attitude to the sport, to the profession, to the life, and to his teammates, you can see how much he's loved out there. Oh man! And you know what, Keith? He was marauding down the right wing, man. He was overlapping. He was showing different things. So it bodes well because, again, that's another weapon that we have. We don't always have to play Trent inverted. If we play Gomez, he can play that overlapping role, and we can play Dominic staying inside, not going outside as much as well. It all bodes well, man, for me.
What I like about Joe Gomez is touching it in terms of how Trent wasn't necessarily missed. I thought we inverted Trent because we lacked creativity in the midfield last season. Henderson, Fabinho,
definitely
never there. Oxlade-Chamberlain was never trusted, etc. So we kind of pushed him into that role. But actually, now we've got Szoboszlai, you got McAllister, you know, even Endo's popping past you. You got Elliott, you got Jones, you got Gravenberch. Like, the need for Trent to be in this inverted wingback suddenly loses his impetus, in my opinion. Actually, we're seeing the benefit now of having width again when Joe Gomez plays. So that's why I feel like with the attributes Joe Gomez brings, he's much more likely to hug that touchline, run up and down, and give us that stability. I'm not a big fan of Trent insisting on being an inverted wingback, and it happened. Like, for me, who did we last play? Fuck, it's only the other weekend we were talking about it. We won again.
Luton, not Luton. Who did we speak?
Forest.
Nottingham Forest. Yeah, Nottingham Forest. Yeah, I thought Trent was all right, but again, sometimes I just feel like I don't think he necessarily needs to be in that. I don't know. That's just my opinion anyway. I actually prefer us when we have a bit more width on the right and let Szoboszlai and the likes of McAllister and that have control of that creativity. So, yeah, when Gomez comes into the side, I feel like it does allow a bit more balance, in my opinion.
Mane, have it run. I always love his name. To be fair, he says Gomez doesn't really struggle at right back, even in bad form. But today was levels. Are we at that stage where we're saying Gomez, like, utilize him as an auxiliary right back now and no more centre back? Or do you still want to see him as centre back primarily? And then if needed, right back? Which way around do you guys see it before we move on? Ish?
I feel it's funny. I feel like we have this conversation as a fan base kind of every six to nine months, and it's just injury dependent. Because I feel like as soon as we say one, Trent gets injured and he's got to go right back. As soon as we say the other one, Matip and Khanage injured at the same time. Shit, Van Dijk's only got one guy to partner him. So I just feel like we're lucky that we've got a guy who's so versatile. But we don't need to put him in a box because we've got our other 2 right backs. Don't forget what they even called, flipping
Conor Bradley
and the Scottish
Calvin
Ramsey. These guys can't even play a game between them. We've got like one game between them in the last season. So like, at the moment, Gomez, big man, you're gonna have to do both. You're gonna have to do both right now until we sort out a situation. But I'm just happy for him personally because he's in a good moment right now. So yeah,
Yeah, no,
it's good for him.
100%.
Saves us a lot of money, man. Hella money. That's the
We're
other
gonna
thing.
talk about money saving players. We're gonna come up to money saving players. Don't you go anywhere, guys. Make sure you like the stream, subscribe if you haven't. We get the goal. I knew it was one of those games where you're right. You have to just capture a moment, capture a situation, and finish it off. Comes from a Silicas corner. I was telling these guys about his delivery. I thought his delivery again was dangerous today. Comes out to Harvey Elliott, smashes it in. People in the chat let me know as well, and used to let me know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. Did Gakpo try to do that? Did it hit him? Just hit him, or did Gakpo try to deflect that in?
Now you're asking.
He's Dutch, bro. Like
I'll give it the benefit of the doubt.
I don't know, you know. No. First, I thought just deflection, bang, yeah, okay, no problem. Deflection comes off the keeper, he tucks it away. I look at it back, yeah, and I don't know. It is a deflection, but it's like kind of contrived deflection. I don't know if people in the chat are thinking I'm buzzing and I'm just way gassing Gakpo. I don't even rate Gakpo like that. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. But anyway, we get the goal. Keith, I love when we score scrappy goals. It doesn't always have to be a constructed, lovely move with Salah tucking it away at the end of it. I love these scraps in the box and this and that because we've got physicality. We've got the three centre backs. Well, Gomez as centre back, but Matip, Kwanzaa. We've got Sabozalai. We've got Gravenberch is big. Curtis Jones is 6 foot. We should be a problem in other opposition boxes.
Yeah, I think we are. As I said, I think one of Jurgen Klopp's most underrated tactics as a manager is his importance he places on set pieces. I think it's been one of Liverpool's most deadliest weapons over the years under Jurgen Klopp. And I don't see enough pundits talk about it really. Like I always feel like if it was a Sam Allardyce or a Roy Hodgson that has scored as many set piece goals as Liverpool have over the past under Klopp's tenure, you'd be seeing think pieces on it. But it is a huge weapon, and I think it's gotten even more dangerous because we've got Fox in the boxes. Like we've got killers like Gakpo, Jota, Nunes. These are 6-yard box killers. They look like tap-ins to everybody else, but these guys seem to be pulling it off on a regular basis. And when I looked at Gakpo's performance, I completely forgot he was even playing in that first half, realistically. Half because maybe we weren't really attacking down the left, so I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but half because he wasn't in the game. He had one of those, what I call these days, that was like a Jota performance.
I just don't like him on the left. I literally said it to Ishan and guys yesterday. I don't like him there.
Shocks me because I was advocating why are we playing this guy as a centre forward? Last season we should be playing him on the left, and now I'm actually seeing him been playing on the left for the past few times. I'm saying never play this guy on the left again because I feel like it takes it away. He's probably even more effective as a midfielder where he's been played than he is just being put out on the left. So yeah, it did take away a bit from his game. I just watched that goal back as well. I mean, Grace, if you're going to give him that, then you've got to give Nunes the assist when it hit the bar and went back. Do you know what I mean? Because I saw Gakpo does the spin, almost like spins.
I don't know, man. Like Pixelated Pigeon says, I think you're right, Chris. Based on where he looks immediately after the flick, it's almost like he.
But he used the goalkeeper as a wall, kind of. If he scored the goal off the flick, mate.
I don't know, man. I don't know. No. I genuinely think he meant to steer it in towards the goal, like with that deflection, if you know what I mean. But look, we score the goal.
It was needed. Sorry, I was going to say one thing. It was that type of game. Like, as you'll see with the Bournemouth goal, it was long balls are king in these type of games. You know what I mean? Just put it into the mixer, see what happens. The wind's blowing it. It's all going crazy. Ping pong submission, and in you go. So, yeah, shout out to Gakpo, man. What's 4th goal this season already? I just think it's insane. We have 5 forwards that have scoring goals on a regular basis when they get onto that pitch. For me, it just blows my mind. I always thought, free forwards, and it's going to be hard to keep the others satisfied. But the way Klopp's going on with these front five at the moment, it seems everybody's just happy and scoring goals, which is just insane to me.
Yeah, look, this is the average positions, man, of that. Like, I don't know what to make of that. Like, there was nothing. Like, we literally said it was all about sort of the left side keeping some form of balance, I'd say. Curtis Jones, another steady performance. I love the way he relaxes the ball, as I call it. Tsimikas gave us width, and Endo was decent, as I said. But these guys, 11, 8, 19, and 2, these brothers, they had like some form of, I don't know, man, what was it? Some chemistry. Like, they were just playing in a box of their own. Like Salah, Dominic, Gomez, and Elliott. And those four congested right in that right side of the pitch. There wasn't much fluency. There wasn't, as you said, Keith, there was no switching of play. The ball's getting caught in the wind. You're stupid if you're going to try and do switches of play. I thought it was you either put it in the mixer, which we're not that kind of team. Brighton done it in the second half. We're going to touch on the second half. But it was a try to keep the ball short distance passing, small passes. And that's where I think Gomez and Elliott came into their own. 1-0 up. I still wasn't in mad control. Just a quick super chat from Man Run again. He says, Kwanzaa's better than Koval. Matip back in form. VVD back on his throne. Kanate is Kanate. Our defense is slept on this season. I think people are realizing, bro. People are realizing that, yeah, we over criticized the Liverpool defense this season. Last season, smashed them to bits because they deserve it. But this season, I don't know what games people are seeing when they're criticizing our defense. We keep changing it, yet we look solid. We've got one of the lowest XGs, man, around. The second half, the weather played a part. Even though we had the wind in the first half, I think, and apparently by all accounts and all reports, because this ain't sour grapes, because we won the game, but the weather definitely played a part in the second half. It was reminded me of Sunday League at Hackney Marshes, bro. Like, I was there in my raincoat, watching my Sunday League team play. The conditions were atrocious. I'm thinking, I'm not getting paid for this shit. Why am I here? But the passion gets you through, bro. Those players had to. The second half showed us a different Liverpool.
Yeah, like, to be fair as well, that before the equaliser came, it was kind of a slow build up of I could feel them getting back into the game. Like you said, the weather played a big part. It was one of them where like any sort of pretty football just went out the window second half. It was just kind of try and get through the game from our point of view, try and get a second before they equalised, but we couldn't in the end. To be fair, Bournemouth, like they definitely improved second half. Definitely improved. I think Alex Scott said he's a player. He's a player. I can't remember where they got him from in the Championship. Bristol City, maybe.
We were supposed to get. We were linked with him as well. Sorry, I think it was Bristol City. Yeah.
Yeah, I like him. I like him. He's one who kind of stood out for me a little bit. It's just funny as well because in my group chat, I was cussing Clive, just saying how he's kind of a bit of a scrub and that. But obviously, he had to come up with a goal. Decent goal from their point of view. But from our point of view, it was. What did you lot think about the subs? Like before Klopp made them? Because I thought it was quite interesting. So I don't know if I would have made those subs personally. Obviously, it came off in the end. But what did you lot think?
I was a bit baffled as well. I'm not gonna lie. I just don't think we had any control. So in the first half, we had moments of control because of Elliott mainly, and a bit of Curtis Jones. In the second half, when he brought on McAllister and Trent in midfield, I don't know. I was baffled as well. I'm not gonna lie. I just think I think they were planned subs as opposed to the game situation subs. I don't know what you guys think. I think it was like a case of he's going to get 30 minutes, he's going to get 20 minutes, he's going to get 45 minutes, as opposed to check out the game situation, because it was not under control. I tweeted it, and Keith, the goal was coming, right? Kelleher, few critics coming out, few people talking about Kelleher value dropping. You know, maybe we should have capitalized when his value was at his highest in the summer. Now it seems to be dropping. He was nervous today, wasn't he? He wasn't his calm, usual self.
Yeah, I have some sort of sympathy for him. I just think, you'll fight a losing battle at the end of the day. Like, goalkeepers can be at the top of their game well into their 30s. Alisson is like, what isn't he like a runs a church pretty much in Liverpool these days? Like, that guy ain't going anywhere. He's the third highest paid player at Liverpool Football Club. He's got his church. He's got his people. Like, why does he have to go anyway? So as far as Keller is concerned, he is never seeing that number 1 jersey. So I think, as a number 2, it's a bit challenging for him to kind of come up and be inspired year in, year out. I actually think that maybe him not moving in the summer probably impacted him. Maybe he had one foot out the door in a sense, and no one really came in for him because people weren't spending that kind of money on a keeper like himself. I thought the goal, though, I just thought it was a bit unlucky. Again, I will give him the benefit of the doubt here. It was like, that is exactly how you were going to score a goal today. And we could talk about Nunes' goal eventually.
That was definitely Hackney Marsh's goal.
Yeah, 100%. Hit that whip in, deep cross, and
whatever, something will happen.
Something will happen.
Ballooning about, man.
Yeah, something will happen.
Crazy. So for that, I'll give it to him. But to you, both your point, I couldn't agree more about control. The last thing you're going to have with McAllister and Trent coming on, we've just taken off Jones, who is the control meister, along with Endo, who I thought in possession has really surprised me. When we bought Endo, I was thinking it's going to be this flying tough tackler. We're going to be impressed by his tackles. I don't think he's that good. I don't think his time is that great with tackles at the moment in the Premier League, but his ball distribution and the way when he is in possession, he moves it about has actually impressed me more than the tackling side of his DMs. And I thought he did that again today. So I thought taking them two off and putting on Trent, who is the experiment midfielder that Klopp is just flirting with every 5 minutes, whether he wants to play him there or not. And obviously McAllister, who at times just, even when he starts games and he plays in that deeper midfield role, will lose the ball. Like, you're guaranteed he's going to lose the ball in transition at some point. When you have those two playing in midfield, there is going to be no control. So you're going to need chaos. Luckily, one of the other transfers, to segue into it, he did bring on the professor.
One of the other subs, you mean, not transfers. Yeah, one of the other substitutions.
The other sub, sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah, the professor. Was
the king. Perfect for this kind of weather conditions. You know what I mean? Ish, we're talking about touch. We're talking about, if your touch ain't impeccable, you're going to look like an idiot, right? This guy's touch is all over the show, but he's just mad. I don't know how to describe him. He's one of those guys where you can't speak to him for too long, bro. Like, in terms of, you can't give him too many instructions. Am I right? You can't give him too much instruction. If you give him a bit more instruction than needed, he's gonna just forget all the rest of the bits that he's supposed to catch on. So you have to keep it very basic with him and simple. Go out there, handle your business stuff, bro. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Hey, Chris, I screamed when he scored. I screamed just because, like, this guy is hilarious, bro. The only reason he scored that goal because his touch was abysmal, bro. The touch took him so wide, it gave him an angle to kind of run in, do the little shimmy, cut it. But this guy is like unreal. And I was even laughing more because I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a clip of him training in Uruguay and it's shot from a similar angle and it goes out for not even a throw and it goes into the other training pitch.
In about an hour, by the time, but if we log on back to Twitter in about an hour, there will be
they'll clip that.
Yeah, they will have that side by side. Yeah.
This guy he's just hilarious, man. He's hilarious. And like, I think I was saying to you yesterday about Jota not being my kind of cup of tea in terms of a player. Darwin is even less my cup of tea in terms of like just fundamentals. But the guy's growing on me, man. What can I say? He's scoring. He's got goals in back-to-back games now. Like, I wanted to be proven wrong on him. I didn't want him to be the flop that I thought he was going to be. So like, I can't complain. But he's just hilarious, man. The guy is just so funny.
See, but like Big K will tell you, I didn't rate him like that either. But I knew he's not going to be a flop, if you know what I mean. Like, I knew he's going to do bits for Liverpool. I knew he's going to be effective for Liverpool. I just didn't think I like him as a player. I don't think he's got the attributes that I'm looking for in a player. Guys, it's going to come as a shock to you, but I was the same with Torres. I was the same with Fernando Torres. I know people love him and some people worship him, whatever. Not for me. I never saw Torres. I thought Torres is all pace and power, and once you lose that, he's not going to have nothing else. I was proven right. He had 3 seasons maybe at peak, 2-3 seasons. Is that really enough? Of a
yeah, 04 to like 07. Yeah.
3 seasons where he was unplayable at times. But overall, what kind of career was Fernando Torres's? Because once you get an injury or you lose that, I think Nunes is going to have that 3-4 years of madness. I hope I'm proved wrong again. And he has a magnificent career and non-stop goals. But I think it's going to be 3-4 seasons of pure chaos, as we said. Keith,
when his pace goes, he's done.
Nothing. There's nothing there.
He's done.
I'm telling you, there's nothing there. Once the pace goes, there's a physical attributes like in terms of he's big and strong and whatnot, but there's nothing else. Keith, some people in my WhatsApp group were comparing it, and then I saw it on Twitter as well, to the Suarez goal against Stoke in the League Cup a few years ago. Come on, you can't be comparing that. Suarez was touch. Suarez was playing a wall pass with a defender, was it? Or I think it was meant to be another Liverpool player where he plays a wall pass back into him and controlled curl into the corner. Suarez was a different level of goal. This one was a no touch, gone out wide, and then he's like pretending he's in training where there's a drill and you've got the defender and you've got the keeper and you just got to deal with that defender and try to get your shot off.
Yeah. Everything Suarez done was deliberate. Everything Nunes does is in the moment, in vibes. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can all attest to it, right? We've all played football at various, levels, and we've all had that moment where we've taken that touch and hit that ball like, rah, that was a sick shot, that was a sick goal, top bins. Like, how the hell did I do that? I think you asked him later, what was going through your mind when you scored that? I was like, I don't know. And I think that's Nunes. Like, ask him half the times, like, what was going through your head at the time when you took down that ball? He would not be able to tell you because, he just works with vibes. But one of the things that I will give him credit for is, and one of the things that actually was my criticism of Nunes when we bought him, is I did feel that he was very soft on the ball. Nunes we have today is a lot more combative in terms of he knows how to use his strength against Premier League defenders. I thought when he first came in, he allowed Premier League defenders to bully him and frustrate him and knock him around. I think that's now gone. I think he's stronger and he's more confident in his abilities and his playing style. And I just think it's great that I think we're very fortunate that we don't have to rely purely on Darwin Nunes. I think that makes the whole situation so much more easier.
He's part of a 5 that's equally effective in their own different ways.
Yeah. If there was him and then we had a bunch of like up and comers and it was all on Nunes, then I think the pressure and everything else would be too much for him to bear, in my opinion. So I think he's benefiting from the fact that Liverpool went and got Gakpo, Liverpool have Jota, Liverpool kept Salah, and Liverpool have Diaz. And I think together as a unit, I think he's going to continue to contribute in key moments. And he'll score banging goals. Like this season, he's scored brilliant goals and his movement's amazing. He's a great striker. He seems to connect with Mo Salah. He's another one of Mo Salah's disciples. You could add Nunes along with Elliott to the disciple list, the chosen ones of Mo Salah, because Salah loves to play with him. And you know what? Yeah. Salah gets the best out of him, to be perfectly honest with you.
100%. 100%.
Put him 1-2 to them two, they kill it. So long may this madness continue as far as I'm concerned.
People let us know. I'm pretty sure the draw's about to take place. We're going to try to give our live reactions to the draw if they're being done in the next 10-15 minutes. But let us know, is the draw happening right now as we speak? Pixelated Pigeon makes a good point. I love this goal just because of the ironic applause from the crowd, because they all laughed at him when he miscontrols it, right? So there was like, hey, big huge cheer, and then just silence. Because that's the kind of shit he does. He just, like, when you get shit like that, you think to yourself, wow, like God's given him something special. Like, not everyone can do that. Do you get it? Like, not everyone can smash that ball like that and score the goals that he does. So, look, I love the mentality we showed, guys. like we 1-0 up for so long, and then we conceded. It was very much like the Brighton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the difference being, guys, what did I say yesterday, Ish? The difference in the Brighton game was we didn't have
the
forwards subs to change it. This time we had the subs to change it. I know you touched upon the Trent in midfield, Keith. I thought it was horrible. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not an advocate. He's too okay. I don't know because the sample size is too small, so I can't say for fact. But in my opinion, I don't like him in that midfield, man. I think he's too lackadaisical, too much Hollywood passes. It was a time where we needed control, and him and McAllister or especially Trent were trying to ping it first time. This was not the conditions to be pinging it first time, my guy. Assess the situation, play like the skipper that you was. I don't know about you guys. Are you Trent in midfield type guys?
I like it. I do like the idea of him in midfield, but I just feel like it needs to be. Klopp needs to just commit to it. It needs to be you are an 8, because I see him as more of an 8 than a 6. Because for the same reason you said, I do think he can be a bit casual sometimes. I feel like if you make that mistake as a 6, kind of,
he needs a partner alongside him. But
yeah,
then we're not in a position, or I think we've got enough quality, like Keith was saying, in our midfield, not to rely on one person to be the playmaker. Do you get it?
Yeah. And that's even what I was saying yesterday about, like, that's been good for us. And where we've seen Trent's assist numbers kind of drop, we've seen a team become way more potent in terms of, like, we've got multiple creative outlets now. Before, when Trent wasn't in the team, it was like, oh my God, will we even score today? We might need a Salah penalty or for him to do something mad, but otherwise we can forget about creating chances. Now we've got so many different kind of weapons in that sense. But I just think if he's going to play in midfield or he's going to occupy midfield areas, then just tell him to forget about playing right back as well. I just think the whole inverted thing, it served a good purpose last season when we needed the extra body in there when Fabinho was looking like some sort of dead horse. But I do think now we don't really, it doesn't really serve much of a purpose in our team as much, I don't think. And I kind of think that for Trent, if you want to play him right back, play him right back. If you want to play him in midfield, play him midfield. But this kind of in between, I'm personally, it doesn't do it for me, because I still think it'd be way too much work, or whoever's playing on that right side of centre back role. So
okay. You don't like him inverted.
No. Play him right back. Just like play him to where he was playing before, because I think in midfield, the problem with Trent is he lacks that. He takes a second too long to make a decision in transition, and I think that kills him in midfield, in my opinion. And it happened a couple of times, even in this particular game. I think when the team win back that ball, that possession, and he makes that lackadaisical decision in the middle, I think it kills us so much more than it would do on the right-hand side of the pitch. The quality is there, the passing's there, the distribution's there. If at times he wants to pop into more central areas, then fair enough. But to be perfectly honest with you, Trent, you know what I mean? Like, I never thought David Beckham was great when he moved into midfield to the tail end of his career. To be honest, I wasn't a fan of it. I never thought it was that good. I'm a big, God forbid I would support someone else.
Larry, don't say big David Beckham fan before you get cancelled on this.
I'll get cancelled. I'll get cancelled. I ain't watched documentary. But you know what I mean? Like, I always thought, like, his quality, sometimes you are good at what you're good at. And I get it that he wants to be more involved in the football, more involved in the build-up play. His vision's amazing. His passing is out of this world. But unfortunately, Trent, you're at the age now where your limitations are hard to overcome at this stage of your career. So let's do what we were doing before. Let's mask those a little bit and keep him where he should be playing, which is, I do believe, as a right back. That's why he's there in the first place. If he didn't have these limitations, he would be a midfielder now in this current state of his career. So I agree with Ish. I think Klopp needs to stop umming and ahhing about it, toying about it, and I think he's got to make a decision pretty soon, because I think it does confuse things a little bit when we keep forcing him in the middle of the park.
Billy says, agree, Cameron, because Cameron said, what did Cameron say? I can't remember what Cameron said. Cameron said, oh, you are being hard on him when we were doing about the Darwin Núñez chant. He says, agree, Cameron. Núñez has been amazing lately, but they still try discredit. We're not. I'm not. I'm saying I'm cussing myself or no, I'm not cussing myself. I'm giving my opinion on the player. And the player is very apparent to see. Like, which part do you disagree with, guys? Tell me. Let's work it from that way, because I know people's opinions, and it's always subjective. You either is your kind of player, or he's not your kind of player. But not discrediting. I'm crediting him with everything. I'm giving him more credit than not probably he deserves. But I'm saying he's a force of nature in this Liverpool team. Like, we're not discrediting him, my guy, man.
Thing is as well, like, especially as a striker, you can't argue with goals. Goals are his currency. The guy scoring, my opinion of whether I rate him as a footballer does not matter one bit. If
Irrelevant.
he's scoring goals, bro, what can I say to him? Obviously,
Irrelevant.
he had the Toulouse miss, which was hilarious. But as long as the guy's still bagging, no one can chat to him one bit. He can have all the missed touches, all the this, that, the third. If he's scoring goals, happy days.
I believe that's a goal involvement every 54 minutes, and that's the top, and that's it, ahead of everyone else in the league. That's insane levels. Look at the credit I'm giving him. I think he's a must in this Liverpool team right now. If we didn't have Darwin Núñez as an option in this Liverpool team right now, I'd worry. How much more credit do you want me to give him? But we must move on to, I think, leave the best till last. That second half was a backs to the wall stuff. The weather, the wind, the conditions, the swirling wind, the wingers that came on for Bournemouth, man. Who's this? The other brother that came on the left, man. He looked good as well. I can't remember his name, man. He's got a famous name, man. But anyway, we know Cliver, and there was another one, man. But anyway, Kwanzaa. All summer, I was 100% of the opinion, the draw's being made. Okay, we'll catch up on it. But all summer, I was of the opinion we need a defender. We need a centre-back. Centre-back is a must. Centre-back is a must. We held off. We held off. We thought Gomez and Matip will be much better because the game will be less, and we were relying on them not being injured again, which is potluck. And B, it's obvious that they believed in this guy. This guy, they believed in him. It's only Bournemouth, and say what you want, and it's only League Cup, blah, 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 blah. For me, he's the truth, guys. I'm seeing enough. I think he has a career at Liverpool at the highest level. Okay, Liverpool West Ham, guys. First reactions to Liverpool West Ham before we get back to the Gerard Kwanzaa chat. Liverpool West Ham, thoughts, opinions.
I predicted it. Funny is, in one of my groups, I predicted we'll get West Ham. So yeah, it's a good enough, it's an easy enough tie that we should win, and it's hard enough for us to take it seriously. So yeah, home as well.
West Ham are going for this trophy by the looks of what they did to Arsenal this evening. What I will say is that it being at home, I think is good for us, but I think Klopp goes strong. And I think games like this, and just to swing it back to the Kwanzaa debate, this is the type of games. Tonight was the type of game, and this is the type of game where Gerald Kwanzaa gets really tested, and we see if he's up to the levels. And there's no better game than the home tie against West Ham with a team that are trying to win that trophy. So better to have West Ham to test him out than a home tie against Port Vale.
Don't get me wrong. Home tie is a home tie. I would have preferred Port Vale. I'm not one of these, man, put us up against anyone. I just want an easy passage to the final, win the trophy, talk later.
Most teams do get that,
yeah. So far, it's Everton, Fulham, which is two Premier League teams kicking off. Okay, Chelsea, Newcastle, two Premier League teams. Another drop out there, and Liverpool. So that means it's Port Vale versus
Middlesbrough.
Oh Lord,
we're winning the Carabao Cup. I'm convinced. I'm so convinced. We're playing Newcastle in the final. We're winning the Carabao Cup. I'm so convinced. But yeah,
Middlesbrough in the semis. Yeah. Oh man.
Man, I wish we got Middlesbrough or Port Vale. But listen, a home tie is a home tie. Chelsea seem to be a little bit resurgent today. Apparently, they played much better. They won. West Ham obviously smashed the living daylights apparently out of Arsenal. So West Ham, but Moyes always takes the cups seriously. If you deep it, like he always takes the cup seriously. He's one of those old school British managers. He don't do rotation in midweek. He says, yeah, get out there and do it again. Get out there and do it again. And they got that, and they got Mohamed Kudus, who's dangerous. Dangerous. He's a dangerous player. But we must give a few minutes to Konza. I can't speak highly of him enough today. I wanted to see more and more of him. I see the hype in preseason. I see the hype in his debut in a couple of performances. But today, backs to the wall kind of stuff. There was 5 minutes where he done 2 pieces of footballing skill, footballing situations that made me not scream like for the Nunes goal and ish, but I thought, yo, it was like one of those silent claps, right? He done a Johan Cruyff turn on the far side when he's trying to clear the ball, but he's so calm, he just turns, runs out with the ball, right? And you think to yourself, Nat Phillips, eat your heart out. 5 minutes later, he's 1-on-1. He's 2 against 1. They've got an overlap. So first of all, he's got to watch the man running in case he pops off a shot, but the guy doesn't pop off a shot. He plays it wide. So now he's got to chase the man and get a block in before the cross shot. Bro, that was like VVD versus Son, remember in the Champions League shit.
Yeah.
Konza is the truth. Used to his opinion. I don't want to say too much on him that I've not already said.
For me, it's just a calmness for me. Like, even with Ibu, as much as I think Ibu is a fantastic centre back, that's the one part of his game where I think sometimes he does lack a little bit. It's just like composure to take a touch or to cross turn or to kind of just knock the ball past someone. And Konza just come in and he's got that from the off, and he's got the physical attributes as well. He's quick, he's strong. He looks good, man. He looks very good, and I'm kind of thinking back to like Nat Phillips, Reece Williams, Kabak, when that was our tier below our kind of starters, and a massive drop off from that. But Konza's come in so far, and he doesn't look like he's that much lower in terms of quality than a Khanage or Gomez. Obviously, Van Dijk's another level, but he looks serious. He looks like a serious talent, and he's one where I'm like, I still would like a centre back in the summer, but I want to see him I don't want to see him go out on loan. I want to see him kind of continue.
I agree with you. I 100% want to see another centre back in the summer, but not instead of Konza. Like maybe Matip played his last season, so we keep Gomez. Virgil and Konate are already there. Matip. But then there's going to be if Matip continues the form he's showing, again today he was brilliant. Today he was brilliant. If Matip continues to show the form that he's showing,
say it.
Well, I'm asking you. You tell me.
I'm telling you this. Matip wants to retire at Liverpool, doesn't he? He said
I think we got to move it. We got to move him on though, man. We got to move him on. This is not retire. It's not a retirement home, man. Look at what happened with flipping your Milners and that. And we give them a new deal. We can't get them out of the club, bro. Like, come on. I just think you gotta just know sometimes. And listen. Matip's been quality last few games, but he was shaky start of the season, and he was shaky last season as well. And I don't want to turn into one of them clubs that, well, we've done it before in the past. Yeah, great season. Not even great 6 months, new contract. Bro, next season he'll be looking washed again. So I
agree with you.
This is a good time. It's a good time to say goodbye, innit? It's a good time to say goodbye.
The most interesting thing about sentiment, like on the topic of sentiment, one thing that Klopp is not sentimental about is giving young players this much opportunity if he doesn't think they're good enough to get centre back. Like we've seen players come in the past, like Billy the Kid. We saw even Reece Williams, right? Nat Phillips. Like obviously they had to come in and do a job, and we had like no players in that position. But literally, like once they kind of came back, Klopp hardly gave them the light of day again. Basically,
right.
Do you know what I mean?
Billy the Kid was shit.
Okay.
He was so bad.
I'm not doing this. I'm not going from an absolute gem to mentioning Billy the Kid committee.
No, what I'm saying is that Klopp's not sentimental with it. Like,
I know what you mean. No, 100%. I know what you mean. But what I'm saying is, I'm not letting this conversation even be like. I don't want those names mentioned to this guy because I tell you what it is. Billy the Kid Cometio was a calamity. Full stop. Forget him. Reece Williams, I never saw anything in. I'm sorry, guys. I know he done a magnificent.
The pace, man.
The
No,
pace
no.
is
Or
so
lack
bad.
of pace, bro.
No.
Oh my
It was
God.
ridiculous.
Oh,
Nat
how?
Phillips had absolute deficiencies in his game. What I like about Kwanzaa, guys, and I've been watching carefully, and there was reports about his time at Bristol City. Was it or Rovers? I always forget which one. He was on loan to Bristol City or Rovers, one of them.
I can't remember.
I can't remember as well. People, let me know which one it was. There was reports of him having like a lot of yellow cards and indiscipline, whatever, blah, 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 blah. I've tried to work out what they meant by that and what he means by that. I love his aggressiveness, guys. I've realized he's got a tackle. He's got that tenaciousness about him as well. Is that a word? Tenaciousness.
Yeah.
He's got that. Not only he's got the silky ball playing skills and very composed, like Pixlay Pigeon said in the channel member in the chat. Very composed for his age, very calm for his age. Confidence levels are there, but he loves a tackle, Keith. I love my centre backs who love a tackle. It was Rovers. He's got that tenacious tackle in him, like bite. I love that.
It's all good having the tenaciousness, but it's timing. Timing is everything, because you can turn from a reckless centre back, from a composed centre back into a reckless centre back very, very quickly.
Because your timing's poor, yeah.
Your time is poor, and I feel like he makes those like slide tackles that kind of get the ball out of for a throw in or something like that more often for a player his age. I mean, Liverpool have not produced. I don't think they produced. Someone said it earlier on Twitter that we've not produced a centre back of this type of quality probably since Phil Thompson. Like, clubs rarely, you know what I mean? Like, other than that, I don't think Liverpool have ever produced a centre back like this in my lifetime. Anyway, to be coming in and having this composure, distribution as well. That's another thing that I find really interesting. Whenever you see young players come to a football team, particularly at centre back, one thing you'll notice straight away is that anytime they get the ball, they'll go backwards. You know, those that are not destined to go into those next levels, they'll go backwards, they'll go sideways, they'll go simple passes, they'll look for the safe options. Those centre backs where you know they're going to be levels, like when you first watched John Stones, for example, you knew that he was going to be levels, right? Because the guy was confident on the ball, always looking to ping passes, carry the ball out of defence. When you saw Joe Gomez when he came in from Charlton, for example, same kind of confidence that he has in himself. And this is what I see the qualities of Konsa. He's very much confident in his own ability to make the decision on how to take the ball from the deepest position on the football pitch, arguably in the centre-back position, other than the goalkeeper, of course, into areas where he's either pinging it to the wide players, or he's carrying the ball, like you said, Grizz, on those mazy runs. Those mazy runs, by the way, were a new factor of his game that I didn't know he had and that he showed in this game. Right, that surprised me, because I was at one point I was like, right, I have to look twice. Like, is that Joe going on the run? It wasn't. It was Konsa going on the run. So now he's even got this coming in as well, and he's doing all that at such a young age. I believe he's captain of England. Is he captain of Liverpool youth teams? I believe he's been the
under 19s, I think. Yeah.
I mean,
that
is he the captain of the England under 19s? Is he the captain of the England under? Oh, nice.
But I'm pretty sure he was a captain of the youth team as well.
I like
that's
that.
Leadership skill, that's confidence, and he's showing it in the men's game. And he's built like a man already. And how old is he? 19, is it?
19 or something. Is he 19? No, hold on. He can't be. He's older than 19, surely. No?
He is, I don't know if he is.
Okay.
Nah, he's 20. Born in 2003, right?
Oh my days.
Mad.
Wow. Yeah, under 19s captain and LFC under 23s as well. And he's 20. He's 20.
20 years old. Wow.
That's mental. Is there anything that you want to add or subtract? I don't think you want to subtract anything from that. Is there anything that you want to speak on? I know it's not time to. I know you're a guy like me that don't like to go overboard too quick. But yesterday you said something. When you know, you know.
Yeah, 100%. But I more want to see him, like Kay was saying, like the next round is going to be perfect for him because it's going to be against Premier League opposition. But it's not low risk, but it's not a Premier League game as such. So these are the kind of games, and I want to see him more in the Europa League as well. See how he kind of continues to progress. But he looks quality, man. He looks quality. That's the kind of best way I can use to describe him. He looks just class and quality on the pitch. Class and quality on the pitch. Like he doesn't look out of place at all. And I think for a young centre back, especially, it bodes well. It bodes very well.
Oh man, I'm so honestly, I love a story when you know the clamour for a centre back was wild. People were going berserk, and I get it because I was one of them. But I love it when our coaches and Klopp and Co just calm down in it. Like we know what we're doing. We've seen this guy come through. Was he under Joey Barton at Bristol Rovers then? That's interesting because he was that coach in it, and Joey Barton had that little spike in him. If you know what I mean, guys. If anyone knows about Joey Barton had that little dig in him. He loved it. So if he's got that, we've got a new channel member, Mane Hafaran, of course. Big up yourself, and we have my very good friend Tom Mizzy in the building. Says salam Akia, big up Keith and Ish. Just found out about the newborn. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Says thank you very much. Hope all is well. Thoughts are with Lucho and also Palestine. Speak soon. Absolutely. Oh yeah, Barton said the same thing as Keith about his ability. So he was under Barton. He was under Joey Barton. Joey Barton, you know, I know he's a bit of a madman, but Joey Barton, he's crazy. But Joey Barton wasn't a bad footballer, you know, guys. Joey Barton.
No, he could play. He could play. He was underrated to a lesser extent. Like the way people talk about Roy Keane and they forget that he could actually get the ball down and play as well. Barton could kick ball.
Bro, I'm telling you, me and Ish, we're gonna roll it back, man. I think we're gonna have to do a sentimental show, like where we talk about old players and that, man. We're gonna have to talk about because Joey Barton could play in the 90s, but late 90s must have been, late 90s.
Noughties. Barton was noughties.
Early 2000s.
He was like with Kieran Dyer and them man at Newcastle. I'm sure.
Yeah. Joey Barton could play, man. He wasn't as mad. Like, obviously, he was a mad guy, mad dog, like proper, but he could play. But guys, West Ham, we look forward now. I believe it's in. Someone tell me when the games are. Is it January now? The quarterfinals? No, it must be before that. It must be around Christmas time. It's November now.
Yeah,
18th.
Because we play the final in February, right?
Yeah, final in February. I think it's 3 days after the Arsenal game.
Oh.
3 days before the Arsenal game.
3 days before the Arsenal game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we will not be going strong, guys. We will not be going strong.
We've slapped up Arsenal before. Is it Anfield or Emirates?
That's a good question. It is. So it's 3 days before. Yes, the 18th, isn't it, I believe.
Nah, man, we're not going strong in that, guys. But when I say strong, what do we mean by that, though? Innit? Because as we've just discussed, the depth is there, the strength is there, right?
It's before. Sorry, it's before. Yeah, 19th. So it's funny. We got wow, that's interesting. We've got the Liverpool versus Man United at Anfield 17th, Liverpool versus West Ham 19th, and Liverpool versus Arsenal 23rd, all at Anfield.
West Ham
17th, 19th, 23rd.
That's got to be rearranged, man. That can't be playing 2 days.
One of the games is to be determined, but that's what has been put in as the moment.
But they must move that surely.
Whoa!
So one of these games get moved.
So it's between Arsenal and United, basically.
That could get moved. Yeah,
it's sandwiched between Arsenal and United.
Yep, as it stands.
We ain't playing a strong team.
We're seeing KD Gordon, man, make his return, bro.
West Ham are gonna go full strength. I told you he don't fuck about. In between United and Arsenal.
It depends on fitness. It depends on who's available at the time, who's on form. But yeah, that sounds quite peak. that sounds quite peak.
Before Arsenal, so it's after United, before Arsenal in midweek. Yeah. We ain't that strong. Kwanzaa's playing. Which will be a huge test. Probably Valencia will be playing. Well, not Valencia. I keep calling him Valencia. Antonio Valencia, and Mikel Antonio is going to be playing. I reckon probably full strength. Bowen, Souček, all of them, man. Paqueta, who was a problem when we played him. But whatever, bring it on, man. Bring it on. I'm feeling calm. I'm feeling relaxed. I'm enjoying watching Liverpool game. You know, everything's good. we made it a little bit difficult for ourselves. The conditions didn't help, but we're through. West Ham next. Who do we have in the weekend, guys? We have Luton away.
Luton away. Yeah.
It's going to be a bit of an experience. It's going to be a bit of an experience. That's something.
Game could be techie, man. That game
Okay.
could be techie. It could be
Yeah.
techie. Yeah.
You're not feeling
Nah.
awful about it?
I was chatting to my boy Roms earlier. I think there's one goal in it either way, bro. Honestly, it could be one of those mad games. Super Sunday, windy, under the lights. Yeah. We need to have our wits about us.
What time's kickoff Sunday?
4:30. It's the only game on bright lights. Everyone's watching us. Better not embarrass me in front of my friends. Better not embarrass me in front of my friends.
I'm doing a minus, bro. I'm taking a -4 on FPL, slapping Salah in and putting triple captain.
What?
I'm murder upon the dance floor in Luton, man.
You think so? I don't know.
Hey, don't do this to me, man. Don't do this, man. Why you're cursing
that small pitch? Nah.
Mo Salah's gonna. He's got records, man. He's got records to chase.
Why are you doing this, man? Like you haven't had a good FPL for a little while.
Nah, bro, I've been around in the dumps. That's what I'm saying.
So why
I've also not been able to. Sorry, I've not been able to be a top red in a long time. Now's my moment.
I didn't need to hear that, man. You've actually gonna bring him in and put him triple captain, and after Ish is talking about tight pitch and it's gonna be awkward and it's gonna be rough, bro. Because Spurs made hard work of it, but Spurs did actually end up quite comfortable. We should be, as long as there was no injuries picked up today, and from what we know, there was no injuries picked up. Although, guys, did you think Dominic Szoboszlai looked totally comfortable when he was walking off? Maybe just me. Maybe no.
He's getting overplayed. I don't know what he was doing on the pitch today. To be honest, I don't think he should have started him. I think he's come on or started every game. I don't think he's had a full 90 minutes off yet. So.
Yeah,
I know he's got a mad engine, but let's not take the piss.
Let's not take the piss like we did with Genie and Fabinho and Hendo and them, man.
Exactly.
We saw what happened to them. Let this guy have 3-4 years at least for us. But okay, Luton. We'll do a preview later in the week. But guys, we'll be back. Hopefully for the call-in Khan on Saturday. Definitely for the Red Fellas on Sunday. A special thank you for Ish for coming on 2 days in a row. Thank you very much. But it's only because we enjoy talking to you. That's why you've been invited back. So hopefully that's a compliment as well. Thank you very much, Ish.
I'll take that. Thank you very much for having me, bro.
No problem. And of course, Big K's in the building. Hopefully back on Sunday. But yeah, man. This has been Post-Match Carnage, people. Hope you guys enjoyed. Liverpool through to the quarterfinals. Liverpool to consolidate more points and height. Are we third right now? Whatever, don't matter right now. We're 3 points behind the top. In fact, the way I look at it, we're 1 point behind City. That's the way I look at it. I don't look at Spurs. It is what it is. Take care.
I like that.